Hey there, Leo Sun, Leo Moon, Leo Rising. It's Maggie from Moon Directed. Welcome to my channel. Here we work with the energy of the moon to see how we can best utilize it to move our life forward in the most positive way possible. I really like working with the energy of the moon because it really, how you feel is how you experience your life. And so here we do a Moon Astrology. And this week we're going to be covering the Moon Astrology for the week of December 7th through the 13th. Let's see what Spirit has to say about that. I do want to thank you so much for your likes, your shares, your comments, for helping me to grow my channel. And I want to invite you to come and join me tonight, Monday night, for Moon Day Night Live. Moon Day Night Live, we do it 7:30 till 9 o'clock. I go through and I pull a couple cards for each of the signs. And then we... then I take questions. So last week we had like 40 minutes for questions. It was a lot of fun. It was really a party. Oh, okay. I don't need a clarifier. This is actually the nicest 7 of Swords I have ever seen. This is your overall energy for the week, but look, it is about getting your ducks in a row. It's about using strategy to figure out where you have to go. There's 2 doves of peace. Got this beautiful family of English ducks. Actually, there's also, well, there's more than one kind of duck there. So it's a matter of trying to get your ducks in a row and figure out what you need to do. So I am using The Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reed. When I was working with Spirit to pick the decks, this was the one they recommended, and so I like to read what she has to say because she always has such an interesting take on these cards. And let me see. Ooh, almost there. It's so light and bright. Okay, here we go. Independence, nonconformity, living on one's own terms without people pleasing. That's interesting because 7 of Swords energy is actually representative of February 11th. I'm sorry, February 9th. How do I know that? Because it happened, I don't want to tell you why I know that. I know that though. Okay, so that is the energy of an Aquarius, right? So that nonconformity, that independence, that living life on one's own terms without people pleasing. Now is, it's somebody I know. Now is the time for me to live life on my own terms. So I must find the courage to reject conformity. Listening to my yearning for independence is key to breaking free of groupthink. I'm not a fan of groupthink. And attending to my own needs. Diplomacy with others can help me to be true to my call and do what I know I must do for myself. So Aquarius is your opposing sign, right? It is the balancing out of Leo. So Leo is that natural born leader. It's like you draw and attract people to you, and Aquarius is like, I go my own way. And so how do you find the balance in that? And so this week there's a need for you to be a little more independent, a little more aware of what it is that you need. Yes, you can still attract what you need, but how do you stop Leo from shining? I don't think it's a good idea, right? But at the same time, there is a definite need for you to not worry so much about what everybody else is saying or thinking. What they say or think or do is none of your business, right? And that is not to say there isn't that moment. Because I just recently had an experience with this where I read something somebody wrote about me. And there was that moment where I was like, ooh. And then I thought, I actually don't like this person. I don't trust this person. I don't think this person is someone I want to hang out with. So why do I care what they said? And I was like, yeah, they don't know who I am either. So, because I'm sure I don't really know who they are, So, what other people think about you, that's their opinion from their perspective, from the life that they're leading, their experiences, their own stuff. But nobody gets to tell you who you are but you. And so, you are you. And you know who you are. And if you don't, then you just get to know yourself better. But you don't let somebody else tell you who you are. That is a discovery of self. Self-discovery is very important. So this week, we are working toward the energy of eclipse that is happening next Monday in Sagittarius. And it is a new moon eclipse that's pretty close to the galactic center. And so it has that energy of going for it big, planting your seeds of intention in an area where it can actually expand out into the galaxy, right? There's limitless opportunity. So with so much energy pushing it, but first we have to work through this letting go of what's not working for us. So we just had that eclipse that happened in Gemini, which was about releasing whatever was stopping us from being able to move forward in the area of thinking, of, you know, those self-limiting belief systems, old, outdated, outmoded ideas. And this is very much that same kind of energy. But it's like we went in and we cleaned out the first part. You know, okay. So you went into a room and you were like, oh my gosh, there's so much crap in here. Okay, I'm just gonna pull all these boxes out of here. So you start pulling the boxes out, and you're like, oh, that can go to the trash, and this can go here, and that can go there. All right, well, I'll look into that later, but this has got to go, this has got to go. Let's give that away, and you just run through it, right? So that was that last eclipse. The eclipse this time is now you got to go through the box a little bit. You also kind of got to deep clean the room because you're creating a clean slate. A clean place where there isn't anything in there, and now you decide what you're going to bring into that room. How are you going to decorate it? What color are you going to make it? You know, it is your blank canvas for creation. And it's even more so for you maybe than for most of the other signs, because this is happening in your 5th house of creativity, in your 5th house of fun and romance. And you know, this is where you unleash your creative genius. But you need a blank slate, so to speak. Now, are you actually going to get rid of everything? No, you might repurpose, you might designate, you might reinvent it. But most of the stuff has got to go. So this is a week of trying to assess what it is that you keep and what do you release. And if you're not going to let it go, how are you going to rework it so that it fits into this new scheme of things? There was that one piece of furniture you really love, right? And you've always used it as a bookshelf. But now you're looking at it and you're going, that'd make a really nice plant stand over there by the window instead of in the corner in the dark. It's that kind of a deal where you're really looking at everything and figuring out how the pieces fit together. How do you put your ducks in a row? How do you put your ducks in a row? Poor ducks, I just turned them on their little heads. How do you sort things out? It takes strategy. It takes clear-headedness. She's above the clouds. And she's getting divine guidance from the doves coming in. This is you really pulling in this week and organizing your thoughts in a way that is kind of opposite to how you usually do it, so that when you complete this week, you are ready to rock and roll. So there's a need to push through the resistance. The resistance of limiting ideas, the resistance of other people's opinions, the resistance of, sometimes it's just actual time management things. There's a need to create some space to think, to create. So we start out with the moon in Virgo, and the moon in Virgo is going to be in a very nice supportive energy with Uranus, and Uranus rules Aquarius over there. Uranus is like, yeah, we're going to make some big changes here. And the moon is like, yeah, I feel the need to make these big, super big changes. Some radical action is going to be required. And then before the moon gets out of Virgo on Tuesday evening, the moon is going to come into a really nice supportive energy with Venus in Scorpio, and so it's going to go a little deeper and feel a little deeper into the energy. Okay, so what is it that you really want? And then the moon is going to run into all those planets over there in Capricorn that have been running the world, right? Pluto, what are you going to transform? And Jupiter, how big of a transformation are you going to make? And Saturn says, do you have healthy boundaries? And what are your structures that you're laying out? Do you have your ducks in a row? Saturn also rules Aquarius, co-ruler there. So, wow, big change. Huge. You have the Swan. I think it says, I cannot read this word. Okay, it says beauty. I got to tell you, it looked like it said doth. I'm like, that is a big transformation. Either way, it's a beautiful transformation. She is blindfolded. I don't think you know exactly how. Until you clear this space out, I don't think you can get a really good vision of what's next. Like, you have to do the hard work first. You're going to have to do the hard work of clearing space in order to allow the transformation to come in. And I don't think you're going to know exactly where that's going to take you. It just looks beautiful. It just looks really beautiful. Okay, so then at 7:01 p.m. on Tuesday, the moon is going to move into Libra. That's really nice energy for you also, right? Very supportive energy. Air always feeds fire. And but there, the moon is going to come into opposition with Chiron, which is in Aries. That's a fellow fire sign, but Chiron says, ooh, this is the big ouch. You got to heal this. And it's going to be irritated. The moon is going to be irritated. You're going to be irritated, feel irritated by how do I create these dreams, because you got Neptune up in Pisces, and you have Uranus and Taurus, which is squaring off with your sign, but it is in that weird angle with the moon. There's a lot of opportunity for irritability, a lot of opportunity. The moon's going to be in a nice aspect with Mercury in Sagittarius and the sun. So communicating about what's irritating you might be easy, but boy, are you going to be irritated. I think people in general are going to be very irritable, and finding a way to communicate that benefits the situation as opposed to making it worse could be a goal for the week. Just saying. I can see where there could be some stuff going down, because that moon is also in Libra. It's going to come into a square. Okay, first it's going to oppose Mars, and Mars is squaring off with those planets in Capricorn. That's like, what's your plan? What you doing? What are you trying to create here, huh? So yeah, I think there's a lot of energy that needs to be worked through in order to manage Thursday and Friday. And the moon at this phase is all about surrendering to a higher power and releasing your need to control the situation. And so breathing deeply is going to be a big help, especially because you have this air thing going on here, right? So being able to breathe deeply to create space in your body to manage everything that's happening. So for guidance, you have the grouse. Embrace the power of the dance and movement to access your highest guidance. Okay, so this is about being physically active as a way to release some of this energy that's building up inside of you. And you're a fire sign. That makes total sense to me. Fire signs need to get out for a run. They need to get active to release all the pent-up energy inside of them. That works really great for them. I'm a water sign mostly, and so for me to release that tension and energy, I like to go for a swim or hang out in the bathtub. But I find that fire signs, they need to get out there and swat the tennis racket, or hit the road and put in some running. And if you are like, I don't run unless the bear's chasing me, then go for a walk. Right? Just get out there and be physically active, or turn on the music in your bathroom and dance. Nobody has to see you. It's about the moving. It's about moving the energy. It is really important that you move the energy through your system, because what it does is it actually creates space to allow it to leave so that fresh energy can come in. What I'm seeing is like a flame flickering in the air. Like, how when you open up the door and there's a draft and it starts whipping and it sparks it up and it gets bigger, in order to really ignite the fire of passion inside of you, the fire of creativity, the fire of really moving things around in your system, you need some air. So deep breathing, dancing, something that gets the cardio moving. Yeah. You need some air, and dancing would be like the most fun way to do it, really, right? The most fun way to do it. So on Thursday night, the moon is going to move into Scorpio at 8:59 p.m. The moon in Scorpio is going to have a conjunction, which means it's going to come into complete alignment with Venus. So this is about, what do you really feel in your heart space? Really tapping into that energy. And it's also going to be in a nice supported energy with Neptune in Pisces about your dreams. So how do you feel about your dreams? What is it you're really trying to create here? And meanwhile, the sun is going to be trining your sign of Leo, but also trining Mars in Aries. And so that is that, how do I take this action? What is the next step? Really pulling that all together. And of course, the moon is going to get to talk to all those planets in Capricorn. But this time the conversation is really super supportive. It's not tense. It's like, okay, we've identified the problem. How are you going to manage this? How do you feel about it? What are you going to do? And so there is this sense of the dark moon phase, those 3 days before the moon goes new. And in this case, it really feels potent because of the eclipse, to kind of bring it all in and pull our energy in and seek the peace within and rest and recharge and pay attention to our dreams and what we feel. Thursday night, happy Hanukkah to all of my Jewish friends out there. Please forgive me if I get any of this next part wrong, but for some reason, it really triggered something this time when I was meditating on this week. And so Hanukkah is the Festival of Lights, I believe they call it. I should have looked that up. But it is only having enough lamp oil for one night, and it went into 8. So there is this need to have enough fuel to light up the darkness inside. And that's why I feel like everybody during this dark moon phase, there's this need to conserve our energy, because we're about to light something really important coming up with this eclipse. And in particular for you, Leo, because it is in your house of creativity. Coming in at the galactic center, literally the galaxy is the limit. You can create whatever the heck you want. It's a matter of knowing what you want. So take that time to pull your energy in and really consider it. Yeah. All right, so the card of guidance you have is stillness. In calm waters, everything becomes clear. There is a need over the weekend for you to sit in that empty room and look around and go, okay, all right, I'm starting to get a vision of what I want next, right? I'm starting to get a vision of what I want next. And really seal that dream into your heart space. when that moon on Saturday is conjunct with Venus. Wow, you have a lot coming out here. Okay, so Saturday night at 9:39 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that moon is going to move into Sagittarius, and it won't be until like 11:17 the following on Monday that it's the eclipse. So that gives you Sunday to really rest and recharge. So I wanted to get you a little guidance on how to manage that. And so you have, wow. Okay, so you have time to decide, Wisteria. Make a decision now so you can move forward. That is in that stillness, that's sitting in the room, making the decision. What is it that you want to create moving forward? Now's the time. You have the wise soul, Azalea. Your soul carries ancient wisdom. Please embrace it as you have the knowledge to help those around you. Again, in that stillness, tapping into your inner knowing, your inner wisdom, and you have purification, which is the white rose. And by purifying your life of negative people, places, and experiences, you can attain true peace. By releasing and clearing that energy. This weekend is not a weekend to be on the computer, social media, watching TV, anything. This is a weekend to really pull in your energy and focus on what your higher self is bringing forward, the messages that are being brought forward to you, for you, to help you create this plan, to help you to know what the next steps are. It's really a big deal. I can't stress it enough. When the galactic center, okay, so this eclipse that's coming up, and I will cover this more next week, but this eclipse is happening at 23 degrees of Sagittarius. The galactic center is between 26 and 27 degrees. It's right there. So what the galactic center is your truth. What feels like freedom to you. So these are things to be thinking about. What makes you feel free, independent, allowed to put your own ducks in a row? What gets you there? This is the week to really put in the effort and think about it. Find that quiet time, that quiet space. And if you can't do it during the week, which I understand would be difficult, especially because there's some really stressful energies on Wednesday and Thursday, stake a claim and Sunday. Say, this is my time to think, to nurture, to lounge around, to don't do anything except what I want to do. Maybe go for a nice long walk, whatever it is. But this is your healing time. Use it. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. All right? I will see you back here next week when we talk about that eclipse a little bit more in detail. This is the week of prepping for it, okay? And I hope I see you tonight when we do Moonday Night Live. It was a lot of fun last week, and I really hope you will join us. And until I talk to you again, you guys have a great week. Be good to yourselves. Be really good to yourselves. We'll talk soon.